It's a great day to talk hockey with Grant McCagg on Habscast.
Hello.
No. Sorry, I think I just picked the sound, my friend. I apologize for that.
Okay. It wasn't you, apparently, Rick. It was me.
Oh,
Listen.
sorry.
Sorry, guys. Trying to get everything going here. It's a scramble after overtime wins because you're not, you don't know when it's friggin' ending, eh? Rick, what do you got there? You got a
0.5 beer. I only got 0.5 beer, my friend.
Okay.
Already had 2 big glasses of whiskey, and that's only in overtime. So I decided to be a
Oh my
little bit of a
goodness.
pro.
Yeah. So you dug that out of the cobwebs, did you?
Well, actually, there was a kid who was walking by with a jersey. I just know. It's my daughter who loaned me hers. She was
Okay.
part of the Habs camp, and she had Gaston Gingras as a coach many years ago, and it's signed by Byron, Galchenyuk, and I think Radulov.
Okay. Cool.
So, yeah.
Well, wow, what a friggin' again, another roller coaster, right?
Yeah.
I did not that second period again, man. It was like almost the same. I don't think they should get a 2-goal lead on teams. Like, holy frick. They were up 3-1 on Buffalo, and then Buffalo just swamped them. They're up 2-0 on Buffalo, and then the ice is tilted again. Lucky to get out of that second period, still ahead. Relatively lucky to get it to overtime. Oh my goodness. But, even though I'm thinking Buffalo is outplaying them here, there's still a little thing back there, just like in the Tampa game, game 7, where all it takes is one break, right? And
Yeah.
Mr. Game 7, Alex Newhook, comes through
Wow.
again, man.
Wow.
That was a huge, huge, huge goal, and
Oh,
Buffalo deserves major. Like I caught the Dobish interview after,
uh-huh.
and like he said, like they were really good, and Montreal was lucky to win that game. Good day, sir. Puck. There you go. You're not on the
Oops, sorry about that. Myself too. Got to make sure I got my drink too.
mm-hmm.
My beereth overflow.
Yeah. Well, on to the semis, as Alex says. I don't know, Rick, did you think they were going to win it?
It was going back and forth. It's like every time the puck was on Charles, I was like, okay, that's it. They're screwed. They're over. It's done. And then every time Montreal got the puck, like, okay, now they're gonna score. Watch this. It didn't feel it's weird, but I felt like I really felt it could go either way. Like honestly, if I could be honest with you, I didn't know what to think. Uh,
Yeah,
Montreal were giving
as
up a lot
usual.
of shots.
Yeah.
Montreal were giving up a lot of shots, but they didn't seem overly dangerous, and they were controlling the rebounds fairly well. Their zone exits were not perfect, but a little better. And a lot of the guys were playing really well. I thought Carey had a solid game. The guy that really impressed me without the puck today, that really stood out to me, was Caulfield. He was so good on the forecheck. He was causing a lot of havoc. He was back checking. Boy, oh boy, for a guy who was only known as a sniper, has he ever turned into having a little bit more to his game than that? It doesn't seem like a lot, but I think it was an important part of the Habs win today because he was pressuring Buffalo on the forecheck. There was so many sloppy exits when he was on. I really felt they could win this game. Because again,
Yeah.
yeah, Buffalo was really taking a lot of shots, and you never want to see that. I didn't feel like Montreal were giving overly dangerous shots and second and third chances too much. So that was good.
He was Caulfield was the Slafkovsky on that line tonight. Yeah, I agree. I
Yeah,
agree with that. Blain.
Oh, it would have been nice had they not sat on the goddamn lead.
Yeah.
They take that
again.
2-goal lead. They're playing really well. They're taking the game to the Sabres, and
Yeah.
then they put it in friggin' park. They did it. They did it in the last game. They did. Oh my god! Like every time they take a couple of goal lead, they stop playing.
Yeah. And
Then
they stopped.
Sabres came back in. Took a
And-
while, thanks to Dobesh.
Yeah. Why don't they just dress 18 guys? Like, I mean, if they're only going to play 18, what the hell? Why have these guys sit and get splinters on the bench all game?
Just in case injury.
Yeah, I guess. I mean, do I miss something with Jack-Eye and Cappy? Like, were they making mistakes that I didn't see or something? Like, I don't.
No.
They didn't do anything wrong, and it just all of a sudden it's okay. You're on the bench the rest of the game. I thought
a scoring chance.
Cappy almost scored on his very first shot, like damn close. So if he
Yeah.
puts that in, what does Marty say? Oh God, I might have to play him 6 minutes tonight. Yeah.
Maybe 6.5.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, I don't know.
But less than 2 minutes for Jack-Eye is
I know.
insulting.
Well, especially considering how well he's been playing. But anyway, this is not a night to be getting too hard on the team. They're off to the friggin' Eastern Conference Finals. Like I said, they probably, like, going into the playoffs, well, going into the trade deadline, I said the East is winnable for, like, it's wide open. Now, Carolina obviously winning 8. Now we got to start concentrating on this. 8 straight to start. Montreal matches up well with Carolina. They beat them 3 straight. They beat them 3 games this year and didn't lose. So, I don't think that Montreal is going to get swept like the first 2 series for Carolina. I think that they're, Carolina is going to be meeting a battle-tested team now that's gone 2 straight 7-game series. And hopefully we get at least a 6-gamer this time around, Rick.
We really don't know what to expect from that playoff series. I mean, I know Carolina's a fantastic team. They've been all season. They've been amazing in the playoffs in terms of record, but again, they haven't been battle tested really either. Ottawa was a team that things were difficult for Ottawa during the playoffs. They didn't play particularly well, and I think Boston really didn't match up well against Carolina. So, it's whatever happened in the past might not be as relevant as we think, and Montreal could really give Carolina all they could handle. I think it's going to be really about, they really have a good top 6. So the challenge for Montreal is going to be dealing with 2 really good lines.
Yeah.
That is going to be the biggest challenge because that second line for Carolina there has been really, really good.
Yeah, I have to agree. Boston was invisible against Carolina, really.
Yeah.
Like I don't even recall one of the games that Boston played against Carolina. But anyway, I'm pulling your leg there, Rick. They didn't play Carolina. Yes, Blain.
Yes.
Oh, it's true, Boston.
I'm still here.
Sorry about that.
So
Uh,
yeah, I mean Carolina hasn't played anybody. I mean it's
Philadelphia.
the Senators and the Flyers are definitely not teams that are going to test a team that finished anywhere above third in their division. To be honest, it was
yeah,
not a.
yeah,
It's not. It's not much of a challenge for a team like Carolina. Now the Canadians are going to be their biggest test thus far, and Montreal does match up well with them. But the Canadians have to realize Carolina is one of the top teams in shots for per game. They got one of the best power plays. They got those two lines they got to deal with. So the Canadians' bottom six, they're going to have to rely on them heavily again. But you're going to need Slafkovsky, Suzuki, and Caulfield to wake the F up at 5-on-5.
yeah,
If they
yeah,
want this series to go 6, 7 games and take a win, these guys need to start scoring regularly.
yeah. Although again, I like Caulfield's game away from the
Oh,
puck
his
tonight.
effort was great.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was. And Suzuki keeps making smart plays, and they double shifted him, and that's not easy either. Uh, but I have to agree that I mean they have to play better than they did those last two games against Carolina, or they might get swept. You know, I hate to break it to you, but it just they're lucky. They're lucky to take that series, and they'll need to be better. They will. I don't know. Maybe if they don't trust Arbor and because they're going to need 20 guys against Carolina, and
Yeah.
if they don't trust Cappy and Arbor, then maybe they gotta bring in other guys because you just can't have guys playing 2 or 3 minutes in the next series. Maybe at the end if they get to to this point 6-7 game and you shorten the bench, I get it a little bit, but they're going to have to. Uh, Marty's going to have to trust all 20 guys that he dresses. I
Yeah.
think, you know.
Well, going up against Carolina, they're a much better skating team. So you're going to want guys who can keep up. If he doesn't trust Jack-Eye, I mean, Strubal's right there. Strubal's a decent, he's got decent
Yeah.
mobility.
Yeah.
You can trust him to play more than 2 minutes a game. And he does pair up fairly well at times with Hudson. So
Hudson.
if you need someone to eat some minutes here and there to give a rest to some guys, make that change. Because if you're not going to play these guys more than 2 minutes, there's no freaking point in having them in the roster.
No, that's for sure. Mark, let's fucking go. I'm gonna come out and say it. What the hell? What a game! Yeah. Well, they won. Yay.
No,
Sheldon.
that's the important part.
Yeah, great game by Dovish. He was the difference. Well, Dovey kept them in it again. I can't disagree with you
No.
there. Kenny, $10. Thank you. This is the most exciting team to watch that I've seen since '93. But damn, they sure want to kill us with heart attacks. Yes. Thanks, guys, for the contributions, and we'll get to more of your comments as we go along here. I didn't download the stats yet. Here we go. Let's have a quick look here. Curious to see ice time in overtime. What did Lane end up? Oh, okay. Matheson actually ended up with more time than Lane. A few minutes more. Cappy 445. Arbor 152 in an overtime game. What did Caden Gooley? Man, oh man, he's had a hell of a playoff. Like Hudson, yeah, but I mean we kind of expect it from Hudson. Gooley, I think this has been his official coming out party. In the NHL where he's a bona fide top 3 defenseman in this league now, as far as I'm concerned. Rick,
Oh yeah.
what did you think of Gooley's play in this series and tonight?
You know, I thought he brought the total package. We always liked his physicality. He brought that, of course. I always liked his skating ability. He was able to keep up, and he surprised me with his, breakout passes. They were solid. There was not very few mistakes, if any. If he didn't have a play, banged it off the board safely and really well positioned puck if he needed to do that.
Yeah,
So I think you look at that as a total with everything combined. He really didn't give his opponent much to deal with, and people, you could tell. I mean, there was a lot of the plays were on the other side of the ice when he was on, because after a while they were like, man, we really don't have much to go against this guy. And we always, again, we talk about the physicality, and then that's the solid play, but his intelligence is really really good, and he doesn't have a ton of. We forget he doesn't have a ton of NHL experience in terms of games.
no.
There's still some learning that he could do as he gets older. So, and he's another one who's signed for a few more years at a good contract. So you couldn't be any happier. I don't think you could be any happier if you were to have.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. Like the the youngest team in the playoffs, youngest ever apparently.
Mhm.
Core players, all very young, signed to long-term contracts at some of, like, if you were to say, the 10 best value contracts in the league, you might be able to say like 4 or 5 of them might be Habs. and
Yeah,
like, it's just the future. Not only, like, the future is now, but the future is so bright too. Blaine.
Oh my God, yeah. I mean, you're looking at a team that's average age is under the age of 26. They're I think they're the second youngest in the league total. They're the youngest in the playoffs.
Right.
Uh, and they still have pieces that haven't arrived yet. I mean,
yeah,
we're talking about St. Louis shortening the bench, especially on the blue line, playing 5 guys. What happens when Reinbacher finally shows up and starts taking some of those minutes?
50
He's
seconds a night.
yeah, yeah, because he's expected to become a right-handed goalie type.
Right. Yeah, definitely.
So you got 2 guys like that who can eat
Yeah.
25 minutes a night. How
Yeah.
much better is the team at that point? Hage still hasn't arrived.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, and there's more. So
Ignatavicius, he's a couple years away when they draft him with the 30th pick this year.
so
I'm sorry.
you got a lot of pieces coming,
Yeah.
and they're
Okay.
already in an Eastern Conference final.
Yeah. Absolutely. 5 shots on net for Cole, so it wasn't just away from the puck tonight, too, by the way.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know that there were a lot of dangerous ones, his backhand things. Josh is back to not converting those breakaways, son of a gun, eh? I
yeah.
thought Carrier bounced back really strongly, I
Oh
thought,
yeah.
from
Bounced
the last
forward.
game. What's that?
Bounced forward.
He bounced
Yeah.
forward. Marty wanted. He was like a Super Bowl tonight. That's
Yeah.
how well he bounced. 5 block shots for Carrier tonight, 4 for Caden Gooley. The 3 guys that take the main faceoffs, 54, 50, 50. So that's the main thing. I mean, Texier was 0 for 3 and Newhook was 0 for 3. I think we'll forgive Alex Newhook for being 0 for 3 in the faceoff dot tonight. What do you guys
Yes.
think?
Yes. I think we're
I don't
okay with
know.
that.
I guess 2 games, 7-game winners. All right,
Yeah.
give it to him.
There was an
Wow.
interesting stat there, Grant, that about usage there. I've just noticed quickly is Carrier played a minute or 2 more than Dobson tonight, and he had 3 more shifts. I
Right.
think that says a lot about how well he played. But
Yeah.
also says, we also know that Dobson is not 100%. It's pretty obvious. Shooting is really
Yeah.
affected. But I love Dobson's play too. He wasn't able to play with that same physical. He's never been a physical guy, but it affected his ability to battle for positioning and one-on-one. But he really moved the puck well, got the puck out,
Yeah.
calmly got the puck out of trouble, and really strong breakout passes. So there was not a lot of time spent in the ab zone, I find, when Dobson was on the ice, and that was important too.
No. Dobson was solid. One-hand Dobson. Dean Carrier. We mentioned Alex Carrier, and then Dean Carrier sends $6.99. Geez. Let me see here. Shelbourne, I thought was fantastic tonight. Gluska, Spooley, Bontoon. He was one of the best forwards I thought out there tonight. And Mark, man, Mark, Mark already contributed. No, forget about Mark. Uh, Gold Hour, it's coming home. It's coming home. Lord Stanley is coming home. It's coming home. Maybe. We'll see. Mark gifted a Habs
Right.
cast membership. Keep it going, Marcus. See, I mentioned his name, and he's gifting membership. Scorpion, why not play Struble if you plan on benching 72? Well, we did mention that.
Yeah.
So how could we disagree? I'm happy that the rest were not a factor in this game. Game was played on the ice. I had a heart attack when we were called for a 4-minute high stick. Yeah, the I don't know. I was pissed off that Dobish got ran over pretty good there, and they didn't call a penalty on that.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
I think you have to when a goalie gets. I don't care if a team's down a goal and it's game 7 and it's the third period. You run over a goalie blatantly like that, you gotta call it. I know, like some people were saying, embellishment on. I can't disagree that he maybe did a little extra there, but I don't know. When you get hit, you get run over, and and you're not expecting it, you fall down. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know. That should have been
And
a
what if
penalty.
the Canadians turned it right around and did the exact same thing just a
Right?
few minutes later? They would call it.
They would call
So
it, absolutely,
if you
because
have to call those ones,
yeah,
have
because
to.
they're ahead. They would call it like, and you can't
Game
referee
management.
like that. It is,
No.
but also they scored right after that, and maybe Dovish might have still been a little, cobweb. Might have
Sure.
still had some cobwebs in there, so it
Sure.
was a factor in them tying the game up. Like, you know, um, Francois saying he was happy with the refs. For the most part, yeah.
Sure.
Actually, the Habs kind of got away with a couple of maybe questionable calls earlier in the game. Certainly the fans thought so. If it would have been Montreal, if it would have been in Montreal and the tables were reversed, the fans would have been livid. So,
Yeah.
but
Oh yeah.
I think it kind of, I probably balanced out as far as calls go, one way or the other. However, yeah, the refs didn't decide it, and thankfully they came out in overtime, and the ice wasn't as tilted as it had been, and they got some chances and maybe calmed down a bit, because Buffalo really did in those last 2 games. They had the better of the play. There's no question about that, Rick.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, one comment too about the refs quickly is that so they weren't a factor in this game, but they're not often a factor in Game 7. I find, because teams are being a little bit more careful. There's no tomorrow, so they can't send messages for the next game. There is no next game, so in that sense, it is a little bit easier. But yeah, that was a good point. The refs kind of managed the game fairly well, except for that one penalty. Uh, did Buffalo dominate? Yes, they dominated ice time. They dominated puck possession and shot attempts. Again, I think Montreal were giving them a little bit more space than to shoot from far a little bit more, and they felt like Dobie could handle it. And I think they were trying to to see if they could put pressure kind of on the breakouts. I don't know how much of a great plan that is. It's a risky plan because if your goaltender is a little bit off, well, you're going to pay the price. But again, as you said, you got to give credit to Buffalo. You can't pretend that Montreal, was dominant and Buffalo didn't have much to offer. They are an excellent team, and Kulich is going to be back next year. I think his sniping ability was a problem. I think hopefully they're not going to make any. That trade that they picked up there for Stanley and Shen was really pointless because both of them didn't play. So
Yeah,
they got to get
yeah,
maybe a little bit, a little bit better. Maybe
yeah.
another sixth defenseman, although they might have it in their roster already. And Ostlund is going to be missed, and he's going to get better too. And Elenius is going to keep getting better,
Yeah.
and a lot of their main players are in their
Okay,
prime. So Buffalo's going to do well,
Rick.
and they were really good competitors.
Okay, Rick. When I put up a graphic like that, cut it shorter. Okay.
Okay.
What do we got here? Pizza in the thumbnail. That was fast. Yeah, we got her, my friend. And somebody was saying here that apparently he's got his pizza again. Dino. So hey, Phil got a goal tonight. He comes up big again. That second round pick. Who cares? The Habs had two anyway. Was it worth it, Blain, getting that second round pick?
For LA?
Yeah.
I'm sure LA's happy. It's not like they were using him at all. And to be honest, giving up a second round pick for a guy who can help you get to a third round,
Yeah.
I'll pay that price every day.
I meant giving up, not getting. Yeah.
Well,
Yeah, you knew what I meant. You're just
eventually.
Yeah, that's right. Is there a good pizza place in Buffalo for Dino to order from? Yeah, there's a Buffalo.
Not really.
There's a good Buffalo wing pizza that you can order at one place there. Where's Marty's presser? I don't know, but yeah, they. There was another picture I wanted to bring up. I think it's the 4th anniversary today, is it not, of Guy Lafleur passing? I think Liam posted something today, and I just wanted to bring up this picture that Liam had here, that he posted here a few years back with the Roadrunner and Guy, but Guy watching the game from above there, smiling down today, seeing that the Habs pulled her off there in Game 7. So he was a part of a couple of big ones. Hey, nice.
Oh, beautiful.
So a nice for the Habs to pull this off on the day that Guy, my hero growing up when I was a kid, passed away 4 years ago today. So yeah, it's so that's 8 series wins now for the 8 playoff wins. The last time that the Leafs won 8 playoff games, it's been 24 years. 2001. I think it was 2001. So 24, 25, or 2002, 2001, 2002 season. So
Well, it's a much better rebuild than their rebuild that took 11 years and didn't win this many playoff series over that entire time frame.
Right, exactly. So haha on the Leafs. I always like the sticking it to those guys. Sorry.
Well, cap
Rick,
management's definitely their problem.
yeah, well, they, didn't sign their players to contracts that the Habs players did. And,
Nope.
Speaking of bad contracts, like in that second round there, What did you think, Rick, of the $17 million man on Minnesota in round 2? Did you see any of that series?
I didn't see too much of it, but
Okay.
you don't win with one player making that much money and leave nothing else for the rest of the team. So,
Yeah. Well,
anyways, I wasn't thrilled.
no. Well, from all accounts, I mean, I didn't see the whole series, but he was pretty invisible. And I mean, you're getting paid $17 million. You should probably show up at playoff time, Blaine. I'm talking
Well, I
about
mean, if
Kaprizov, by the way.
well, yeah, if you're going to be getting that much money, you better be scoring every second goal and winning minimum 2 series a year
Yeah.
on your own, because there's
Well,
nobody, you can't afford anybody else after that.
Yeah.
no.
17 million for one guy. That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Even with the cap going to almost 100 mil.
Right. And like I got little tired of all the plaudits that Guerin was getting, you know. And at the end of the day, all right, won one playoff series. Uh, he's got one more year with Hughes, and then probably bye bye. He'd be going to New Jersey. Like that's what's expected. Maybe not, but then what? Right? You've got your $17 million man. You gave up Ogren, you gave up Buem, you gave up Rossi, and a first round pick,
Yep.
and but he, what a job that Bill Guerin did getting Quinn Hughes. Well, I'm sorry, but it wasn't the right move. They should have been patient. They weren't, and I can't see Minnesota. I don't see any path where they're a 3 years from now, unless they can pull a miracle and sign Quinn Hughes and make some other deals. They're still thin down the middle and got that $17 million, which is going to turn out to be an albatross contract. I really
Yep.
do think so.
I agree. I
Oh,
agree.
well.
Everything you said is right on. Kaprizov cannot carry the team on his back. He could produce points during the regular season, but come playoff, smaller guy, I just don't see it.
Yeah. All right. So this series is gonna have a big rest here, eh? What, 2 days off?
2 days off only.
Yeah. Can will Slav be healthy 2 days from now? He's still, I don't know. I'm not. We need to see more. Slav's got to step up in the next series.
Yes.
And as you said earlier, Blaine, they're going to have to. That top line's going to have to score some. And Demidov, it'd be nice to see Demi start to score some even strength goals too.
He played really well in this game tonight, and he had over 22 minutes of game time, which for him is quite a bit of time with St. Louis giving him that kind of leeway.
Yeah.
But yeah, if he can get going and continue playing the way he's playing, and Slafkovsky can wake the frig up, that top line starts scoring, then the Canadians will legitimately have a chance at winning that series quickly. Actually,
Yeah.
in 5 games even, they could just start being more.
Yeah.
I don't know, just show up.
Well,
As it is, I'm not. I don't see them being intimidated by Carolina. I think they match up well. Um, so yeah, the East is open. I mean, the Canadians could honestly win that series. So
yeah.
just show up and put the effort in.
Well, I don't know about in 5, but I think they
Well,
can.
I mean,
Like I'm not when I do my series prediction for this one. I said 5
yeah,
against Buffalo. I'm not going to say 5 against
No.
Carolina. What do you
but I'm
think?
kind of tongue in cheek a little bit there, just
Yeah.
because they're
Yeah.
due so many freaking goals.
Oh, I know. But hey, Freddie, we've seen it before with Freddie Anderson. Like, can Freddie Anderson be good for 3 playoff rounds? Like there's still a question mark there, right? Freddie Anderson, yeah, he's been good so far, but he's only played 8 games. You know, I mean, Dobie did it twice almost already, 7-7, right?
Yeah.
So we'll see. If Freddie comes back down to earth and Dobie keeps playing like he is, and Slav gets going, you know, if, you never know. They might be able to win it in 6, Rick.
Well, the thing is, there's a few ifs, but the ifs are not impossible. It's not like, oh well, if
Right.
if Bodzuk could score 3 hat tricks in the next 6 games, we might win. We're not saying that. It's stuff that could happen. My issue with Slav that bothers me is guys have to produce. There's no doubt about it. It's a problem. But what's really worrisome is how bad his puck management is in the last few games. Like injury or not, he's like losing possession in the defensive zone near the blue line. He's losing possession in the neutral zone.
Yeah.
He's making like low percentage passes. That's the part that bothers me the worst about Slav. You could be injured, but make better decision within the parameters of what your injury lets you do. But I don't like his puck management at all in the last 4 or 5 games. That's for sure.
It's the
Yeah.
giveaways at the blue line in their own zone. That's what kills me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, it's been over and over again, and not hitting a whole heck of a lot either. And that might,
No.
maybe you can excuse that if there is an injury that he's fighting, but those poor puck decisions are, a while back he was playing great in his own zone, and it's been an issue. And against Carolina, that better get tidied up, or it could be a short series too, because
Yeah.
Carolina could jump all over you, with stuff like that. But Buffalo, like, that was part of the reason why Buffalo had so much offensive zone. Second period alone, they were almost 10 minutes in the offensive zone.
Oh.
Very, very similar to the game before. And it just, I think, about 3 of those minutes were, because of Slav and just not being able to get pucks out and making, he's right there. There was one time, especially, where the puck came back and he just kind of loafed over, and that's not like him. Usually
No.
he's aggressive to get over there and get it out, and he should have been there in time to get it out, and he wasn't. So here's hoping that couple days off here, and maybe he'll be a little more healed up and ready to roll against Carolina.
It's got to happen, but it's going to take some hard work.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. Slav needs to stop cutting back once entering the blue line. Loses the puck every time. Happy they won. Great win. Yeah. Well, off to the semis. Hey, they had to get through 106, and how many points did Buffalo have? 111. So, that's pretty impressive. And now they're playing the top team. So they're basically, to win the East, they got to beat the top 3 teams, right?
That seems to be it. Yeah, that's true. If you look at it that way, it's impressive.
Yeah.
The only teams ahead of them.
Right. And they were tied with Buffalo or with Tampa, but Tampa, had more regulation wins or whatever. So, VDoc says the Newfie strikes again. Carrier, what a battler. Yeah, he battled. Devmy looking so good. Chaotic, but they hung in there today. Bend, don't break. Let's go. I like Bolduc tonight. I wish he'd have got a little more ice time. And at the end of the day here, as much as we would have liked to see Cappy back with, it's not happening in this playoffs, obviously. They're not, in a sense, I'm glad that now that he's playing with Evans, because we at least know that he's going to get lots of ice time. If they did put him with Cappy, you know what? He'd be playing 7-8 minutes a night probably, because Marty just doesn't trust Cappy anymore for whatever reasons. He's not about to play them like they were earlier in the year. And I did notice, like, Buffalo had the last change, and when they did have Cappy out there centering Bolduc and Doc, Ruff got Thompson's line out there as much as possible, and I think that was one of the reasons why Marty said, "Well, I better double shift Susie in that spot and Evans a couple of times and stuff, just so we can better protect this, um, you know, uh, the matchup with a rookie like Kapanen center going up against these big lines. Even though he did it well all season long, for whatever reason, Marty has lost faith in Cappy being able to do that. So keep him on the bottom line with Doc and Bolduc, but they were on for that one goal against, and Doc didn't play it great, but as the commentator said, like, you just got to give Buffalo some credit on that when it was, nice play, really nice play by Darlene, and a great shot.
It
Go
was
ahead,
really
whoever.
well played. It was
Yeah,
really, really well played, and you only have a fraction of a second, and I think, as they were saying, that the Doc reacted to what looked like it might be a loss of positional battle one-on-one, and if that happened, then he had a straight path to the net, and I think he played the odds of saying that I'm going to try to cover the middle and hope that if the shot comes from the side, that the angle will play
yeah,
it, but it didn't work out that way, and that just happened.
yeah. I mean, I like Bolduc in this series, and I kind of wish that those two got a little more ice time, and maybe the next series, different matchups. We'll see.
Hmm.
We'll see what the plan is, but do you think they'll go with the same lineup to start the Carolina series?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah. I think the advantage quickly is that with Kapanen, when if you have to take on Thompson, the size differential was just too much, and I think that worried Marty. I don't think that you have that size differential so much with Carolina, so he's thinking that maybe his cerebral approach to the game, especially defensively, will be better suited for Carolina. So that's what I think might happen.
Yeah. As long as it's not up against Stahl, I guess maybe.
Yeah,
Stahl's a pretty big boy,
that's
but
a big guy. Yeah,
yeah.
yeah,
No.
yes.
Yeah. I hear what you're
Oh,
saying.
it's almost 1 a.m. here, and I got to be at work in about 5 hours. So I think I'm going to duck out. Um,
Yeah.
Great win. See we'll see you guys on Thursday.
Okay, my friend. Thanks for hanging in, coming on so late, and yeah, that's right, eh? I'm just so wrapped up on this. I thought maybe you'd be up all night and be running on adrenaline.
Yeah, no, I tend to enjoy sleeping every now and then.
Okay. Well, we'll we'll let you go then.
All right.
Okay.
Thank you,
See
Blade.
you guys in the next one. See you
Okay,
guys
Later.
man.
later.
Okay,
Bye,
bye.
Blade.
And you, Rick, you got to go back to work tomorrow too, I guess.
Yeah, I could do another 5 minutes, and then I'll be ready to hit the snooze
Okay.
button myself there.
Yeah, yeah, you'll be all yeah, because of the 05 there. Betty buys, you be ready to snooze, right?
Oh yeah, the 05 was it was the two whiskeys before, and I really
Yeah,
went,
I
you know,
maybe, eh? Maybe it had
I,
something to do with
and I probably have been a little bit pouring heavy just because of the
it.
nerves.
Oh, yeah, I hear you. But so we're gonna get hockey. What, another 2 weeks? If it goes to a game 7, will it be in June? Have to be close, eh? I'll have
Yeah,
to.
it will be. I would think it's going to be in June if there's a game 7. Yeah,
Yeah, eh?
I would think
Uh,
so.
wow. Could we have hockey in June in Montreal again. It's been a long time. The last
Boy,
time there was hockey in June probably was 93. I don't know because I know like the coronavirus year there they that wasn't played in the spring, so um yeah, maybe. I
that'll be
don't know,
crazy.
you know.
I mean, Montreal Summers with Habs.
Yeah,
Wow, the energy is going to be just out of control in this city.
yeah.
It's exciting, but it is going to affect our second love, which is the draft and the prospects. We won't have as much time to look at that
No,
with hockey in June, but that's fine.
well,
we'll take that consequence.
yeah, well, if they're picking 30th or whatever, it's not quite as consequential
Yeah,
anyways, right?
no, no, I do get it. There's a few guys we like around there, and the
Oh
one
yeah.
you mentioned is one that I really like too. So cross our fingers.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if he'll be there at 30, but or 31.
Or
Here's
32.
hoping. Yeah. Well, Ottawa's got 32. So
Oh yeah, yeah, that's a
that's why
31.
I
Good
say
call.
that's why I say 31.
Good call. Good
Yeah.
call.
Yeah. If they're drafting 31, Rick, they won the cup. So you
That's
know.
good. That's so true. Good, great
Yeah.
call. I didn't even think of that.
Yeah. No, I got caught on that a couple times too. So uh you know, but yeah, this is just uh well, I mean, I I really thought when Buffalo started pouring it on there, the home crowd getting into it, going pretty crazy. I thought, oh boy, they're not going to win this. But the momentum, like we saw it last game, right, where
Yeah,
Buffalo just, zing, uh, I mean, they were a 110 plus point team for a reason, right? It wasn't
right.
they didn't do it with smoke and mirrors, but Doby stood tall again, made some big saves. Boy, that a couple of those scrambles. Gooley got his stick on Benson's stick
Oh
there, on
yeah,
that one
yeah.
play.
That was great. Oh wow, that was really.
A few of those goal mouth scrambles, but the Canadians battled hard, and hey, you got to battle. This young group is getting such great experience here. Two game sevens, and now playing against the second best record in the entire league this year in the conference finals. It's just not only great for this year, but for their for future
Yeah,
playoff endeavors. This is just invaluable experience for them.
it is. It
All
is.
right, all right, Rick. Glad you got the shirt, and it
Yeah,
fits. And it fits. You lost a bit of weight there, so you could get it on, eh, buddy?
yeah. The playoff stress is making me sweat out a few pounds.
Right on. Okay.
All
Uh,
right.
Thanks as always, and
Thank you, Grant. Thank you.
um, we'll see you in the next series. Okay.
Absolutely, Grant. Thanks again, and have a nice night, everyone. Go Habs,
Okay.
go. Thank you.
Bye, bye, Rick.
Bye bye.
Rico Springhetti, folks. Um, wow, it's I sorry, I'm a little lost for words here tonight. Just whew, it's still it's kind of hard to fathom that the Canadians it- when it goes to overtime, it's anybody's game, right? And it just suddenly boom, there it is. Uh, Game seven overtime. Wow. Mike King was a nail biter for sure. That crossbar, yeah, that could have put us up 3-1, and then the no call on Zucker, blatant miss by the ref. Yeah, and it swung the tide, right? If they could have gotten that third goal, you think maybe that they could put it away, but hey, might as well make it suspenseful as can be and have and have it ended in overtime. I'll take it. I'm not going to argue. Joe the Snoop. Newhook scored during lunchtime here in Sydney Tuesday afternoon. A small yet loud group watched it in a pub. Massive smile on an overcast day. Yeah, Sydney, and he would be talking about Sydney, Australia. Yes, that's kind of cool. Watching it in a pub in Australia. Thanks, Joe, for sharing that with us. Um, Obviously, you didn't mean Sydney, Nova Scotia. Puck management by Slav, very similar to Matheson today. That one time there, Matheson got the puck along the boards and he tried to move it up along the boards, and the right play was just pass it over to his D partner. There was no Buffalo players there. Instead, he kind of shoveled it along the boards. Buffalo got it, and they almost, I thought, oh, this would be a fitting way to end it with Mikey, a brain cramp from Mikey, but uh, they managed to keep the puck out of the net, which was good for Mike. Let's just see here. Comments. I'm going to give a plug here to Next Level Hockey, folks. Specialists in hockey development, trusted by NHL prospects. Whether you're looking to elevate your shooting, skating, stick handling, or overall game, NLH is here to take your game to the next level. Visit them at nextlevelhockey.com and follow their Instagram at nextlevelhockey_ for daily tips and updates. If you or someone you know have young aspiring hockey players who want to elevate their game, trust Next Level Hockey to guide them forward. Next Level Hockey. It's in the name. My other sponsor here is Bonachère Caves. Open this weekend, folks. The May long weekend. Eganville, Ontario, a private family-owned business run by hockey fans. 613-628-2283 if you want to get some more information. Visit their website at bonacharecaves.com, and it's pretty cool. Hey, they're open for business right through until Thanksgiving here now. Go check them out. About an hour from Ottawa. It's a beautiful, beautiful tour up the Upper Ottawa Valley to Eganville, Ontario. Check out the caves and tell them that Grant sent you. Ask for Caveman Chris. He's a huge hockey guy. But thank you so much to both of those sponsors, keeping things rolling here as the Canadians advance to the third round. Absolutely. Can't blame the Leafs, though. They didn't see the Habs coming. Yeah. Francois says, crazy how Dovish is playing Conn Smythe level. Long are the days when someone wanted to trade for Binnington at the trade deadline. Long gone are the days. Yeah, well, I had made that suggestion because at the time, Binnington didn't have two goalies going, did we? Also, what else? Could have used a Mikey McCarron. McCarron was really good in the playoffs, by the way. I wish he was there for the third round now. Was it just me, or did we let their defense have too much space in our zone? They seem to have way too much time to shoot and set up plays. Well, they scored both their goals today, so you're probably not far off on that. CBC and Sportsnet as Woe 5. Okay. So somebody said 109. What, 109 likes already? Was that, they're eating pizza. Yeah. Yeah. Deneau and Matheson. Again, eh? Right on. The fact Anderson and Marner are staring for their teams is probably a gut punch to Leaf fans. Yeah. You mean Anderson with an E, Freddie? Yeah. Are starring for their teams, right? Probably. Well, that's a good point, Kevin. Buffalo gained experience this year like Montreal did last year. Buffalo is a great team, and I was excited for them and their fans. Go Habs. There we go. Yeah. Uh, Hugo Monty nominated for GM of the Year. Well, he's in the third round. Verbeek and Guerin aren't. Yeah. St. Louis not nominated for Jack Adams. He's in Eastern Stop Conference Finals. The nominees aren't Ruff, Muse, and Ruff. Yeah. That that post's a little off there, B-Doc, but I think I get your point. Everyone wanted to be number 10 playing road hockey in my youth. Yeah. Uh, after picks 1 to 15, there is not a pick I would not trade for Deneau in a do-over. Well, hey, he was a big part of them getting to the third round. And Donnie McCaskill, if you're listening from afar, I guess you were right to be uh, so optimistic that the Habs would win this. I mean, it obviously could have gone either way, but they pulled it off. So kudos to you for remaining extremely positive. But I don't know. I just like to, you know, you got to give kudos to the other team, and they could easily have won this series. Bounce either way, just like the last one. But the Canadians got the bounce, got the bounce at the right time at the end of the game. So good for them. Um, this brings childhood memories of running up and down my street at the age of 10 on Victoria Day, 1979, when the Habs won the Stanley Cup. Yeah, yeah. 79 beat the Rangers, eh? Yeah. Love the shirt, Rick. Yeah, that was a nice shirt for Rick. Um, see if we can get a few more. Kenny says the next series will be a completely different style from the first two series. The Habs need their versatility to show once again. Remember headstands. Marty says this team can play any style. Headstands Marty. There you go. Uh, A win is a win. Playing 5D might be a problem versus Carolina. Farber only plays 132. Why not insert Reinbacher? He's a top 5 pick. He can't hurt. Man, they could not get a puck out in second. I'd love to see Reinbacher get a look in the third round. 3 righties, 3 lefties. Go for it. Maybe. It just seems like Marty's not about to do that, though. He's not playing, rookie that was 11th in voting for the rookie award. So is he going to play a rookie that played 2 games? I don't know. Top 4 in the league as the youngest team that ever made playoffs. How's that sound? Yeah. And everybody signed to great great contracts. Yeah. I just all right. At least Carolina doesn't have eight guys 6'5". That size is difficult for some of our players. We match up way better with Carolina. Could be, eh? Although it's not the size, it's how you use it, right? I didn't find Buffalo to be overly physical, but like I thought Tampa was probably more physical, but we'll see. They matched up well against Carolina all year, so let's hope they can well, they beat them 3 times. Let's hope that the trend continues for them here. Lots of players were supposedly playing injured, so maybe Carolina had a step or 2 on them. Montreal should be more of a challenge. Geez, I hope so. I mean, there were a couple of close games in the Flyers series, but the way things are going for the Habs here, they seem to be, good fortune is smiling on them. So maybe a couple of those close games that didn't go Philly's way will go the Habs' way in this series. Because the one thing you know for sure, there's not going to be 4 blowouts. There'll be some close games, and hopefully Montreal can come out on top in those close games. So we've already had 2,000 people view this, according to the stats. 1772 in the last 60 minutes. That might be the most we've ever had. So that's good. That's a good stat. Thank you very much. I'm just going to check and see. We have 73, 74 now. Okay, and 117. Oh, somebody was say they meant 109 watching, I guess. 77 likes so far. If you don't mind, exit the chat for a minute and press that like button, press that hype button, press every button that you see in front of you there. I'd really appreciate it. We're getting fantastic numbers here, so all good. Yeah, AJ Jakubek say we nailed this one. Canes in 6. All right. If it goes 7, Montreal wins. That's what he. Oh, okay. AJ said if it goes 7, yeah, he picked Buffalo at 6, but he said if If it goes 7, Montreal wins. And then he just sent me a direct message saying nailed this one. So good for AJ. AJ, by the way, is with TSN 1200. Great guy. Yeah. I don't know if Liam. I don't know if Liam's at home. I'm just gonna text him here, see if he's see what he thinks. Montreal at 7 versus Carolina, with the Habs winning their third game 7 to move on to play Colorado in the finals. All right, give us your predictions. Are the Habs going to win the next one? Habs 4-0. I thought they were 3-0 versus Carolina. You sure they played them 4 times? Usually they don't play teams in the other out of their division more than 3 times, but maybe I didn't. Maybe I missed one. Marty Biron Buffalo supporter and Quebec Nordique fan last week says Carolina wanted to play Buffalo, not Montreal. Oh, there you go. Yeah, well, I hope, Kevin, I hope so. Did he play versus Carolina in the regular season? I don't know. That is indeed a good question, folks. Matheson and Hudson were running on fumes. Why don't we play Gooley and Reinbacher if Rhino is healthy? I'd love to see it. Yeah, Liam's doing well, apparently. Deneau has pizza in his hand as we speak. Yeah, they'll all be eating lots of pizza, especially, you got to think, maybe even later will have a couple of pieces tonight. He earned it. What a. Yeah. Habs in 6. Okay. I said 3-0 on. Said 3-0 on Sportsnet not too long ago, too. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 3-0. Don't normally play 4 games against anyone other than in your division. We'll be big underdogs against the Canes, and that's just fine. They'll probably control the play, Corsi-wise, but unlike Ottawa and Philly, we can score. Yeah, well, if Dobie can be better than Anderson, and that's entirely possible, the Habs have a chance. Pizza, I don't know. Fire, Rockets, 100. His new PC is coming soon. Should fix that. Am I frozen again? Okay. Yeah, getting a new laptop there, guys. Thanks to all the donations I've been getting from John, the ghost of John Gotti, I'm buying a new laptop. Gallagher, who knows? Marty short in the bench. It was game 7. Yeah. Yeah, 3-0 for the Habs during the regular season. There you go. It's really head scratching when SL played Arbor a minute and a half, and when Struble is in, he gets 12, 13 minutes. Same as Cap, we give him 4 minutes, but when Veleno's in, he gets 8 to 10. Why bother? Yeah, it's a funny one for sure. Galley would have played more minutes at Capman. A little more, I guess. Hey, if they're not going to play him, I guess. I mean, as happy as I was to see Cappy in the lineup, not going to play him. Habs struggle stopping Buffalo at the blue line, open highway. I'd be curious to see if Reinbacher could help in that phase. I'd love to see it. That's for sure. Mike asking, do I think it's sustainable to beat Carolina without production from our top line? I do not. I do not think that that's possible. They'll have to. They will have to get production from the top line. They'll need production from the second line. They'll need solid defense and great goaltending. It's possible. I mean, they were one of the top lines in the league, right? Regular seasons. So it's not like they're incapable of doing it. They played quite well against Carolina. Let me just I will have a look here at the hadn't had a chance yet to look at their games versus Carolina, but I'll do that. I will do that now. First game versus Carolina was, let me see here, that big 7-5 win. That's when Bussy, who had been lights out, all of a sudden it's like, ooh, lights off. They really lit him up. So they beat them 7-5, 5-2, and 3-1. So lots of goals against them. Okay. Well, that doesn't freaking do me much good. Helps if you actually click on the game, I hear. All right. So the 5-2 game was was in March, and so was the 3-1 game. And I'll just get up the stats for the other one here. That, of course. All right. So Kapanen, Caulfield, Slafkovsky, Demidov, Evans. So Caulfield, goal and assist. Demidov, goal and assist. Slav, goal and an assist. Kapanen with a goal. So that would have been when the Slav, Cappy, Demidov line was together. They were very good in that game. This one here, Suzuki, the 3-1 win. Caulfield, a goal and an assist again. Suzuki, 2 goals and an assist. So the big boys did produce against, let's see, the other one. Hudson, Kapanen, Slafkovsky. Slav had a goal and an assist. Suzuki had a goal. Caulfield had a goal. So Cole, I believe, had 3 goals, 2 assists against Carolina in 3 games. Susie, very similar stats. Slav, really good stats. Cappy was very good against Carolina, and so was Demidov with a couple more points. So I'll tally them all up, but those guys all were very productive against Carolina. Sammy Blais even had a goal and an assist in that first game, and of course, who else other than Lane Hudson, right? Goal and an assist. No surprise there. So, mind you, those guys had produced against Buffalo in the regular season too, and they weren't overly productive in the series. Playoffs is different, but we'll see. Yeah, at least it shows that the Habs can play with Carolina, right? And I mean, they were 2-2 against Buffalo, so what did the playoffs show, right? I mean, it went to Game 7 overtime, so they were even in the regular season. They ended up being even in the series, so you know. Yeah, people saying that the Habs will be big underdogs versus Carolina, and that's likely going to be the case. Um, if Slav is hurt, then rest him. We're deep enough to get by. Well, maybe I did wonder about that. Maybe give him 5 days off or something. You know, it's something to consider. Great win, terrific night. Thank you everyone for the chat. Thank you, Grant, as always. Bedtime for me. Okay, Mark. Yeah, I guess we got to get back to work tomorrow, eh? Most of us here. Great show as always, guys. Great win. And don't worry, Grant. I will stick around for you. All right. Dovish quote following tonight's game. Their fans like to chant my name. That was giving me fire because I like that. I like when you're the villain. Dobie. 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 Chanting his name. Uh, when the guy hasn't given up a goal or they're ahead and you're chanting a name, I don't know, it's a little funny. Just like, you know, um, the first game when they're chanting, the Habs are down and, you know, it's 1-0 for the other team and they start chanting the goalie's name. Like, what are you doing? Like, at least wait till they, at least wait till they get a goal against them. But hey, I don't see. Dovey's not the kind of guy that gets rattled by them chanting their name. I don't think many goalies do, to be honest with you. You know, the 10 days off thing, I don't necessarily think that it's it's not always a plus, you know. You can especially if Montreal can come out and hey, they're battle tested. They're in you know, they'll be probably good right out the gate in this first game. Uh, Carolina might take them a period or two to get rolling, and if the Habs can get a lead, who knows? Like, as long as they can at least split in Carolina, you know, can't lose to Carolina the first two games. I don't think. Uh, Great win tonight. Thank you everyone for the chat. Thank you, Grant. Oh, already had that one. I guess if we beat Tampa and Buffalo without our top line going, maybe we can do the same thing with Carolina. Yeah, I don't like the odds. Montreal was way too soft and slow in their own zone for 30 minutes. Weak passes, losing most of the one-on-one. Well, Paul, they can't do that against Carolina. They will have to be better. I don't think too many can disagree with me on that front, right? They cannot. They have to be better. They really do. There's no doubt about that. And yet they still won. Show something, doesn't it? Wow. Yeah. Thanks, Andy. This was mentioned during the broadcast. Ken Dryden and Jakub Dovish are the only two rookies in NHL history to have won multiple Game 7s in a single postseason. Dryden, of course, did it 71. Boston uh, beat Boston in the first round. And then Chicago in the final. They Dryden, they won in Game 7. And 2-1, I believe, was the score in that game. Dryden didn't win both those in overtime. So, you know, Dovey would be the first rookie goalie in NHL history to win multiple Game 7s that included overtime. So that's a feather in his cap, that's for sure. Unbelievable. Carolina will be rusty. Yeah, they will. Let's have another look at the stats here, folks. So the other series gets going on Wednesday. We'll have one night off. Final four: Vegas, Colorado, Carolina, Montreal. Good to have. That's at least 3 straight years with a Canadian team in making the Final Four. Hopefully, it'll be 3 straight years with a Canadian team in the final, but time will tell. Demidov +1. Kirby, Bolduc each a -1. Arbor in his minute 52 managed to be +1. His plus minus per 60 minutes be pretty good. Be pretty good right now. Keeps that up. Noah -1. He played 26 minutes tonight. Lehner got another assist, -1. Danault -1, but big goal. Who cares? Alex Carrier picked up another assist. Ghouls with a beautiful, by the way, that was that first goal all around. Loved the Anderson keeping it in. Another solid game from Josh. Kept it in and worked it around and got it to Texier. Texier back to Gouli. Gouli, very smart pass towards Danault, and Danault, it deflected off his skate. And of course, when I was talking about, why didn't they call a penalty against Buffalo, against Zucker for running over Dovish? One of the, I got a lot of replies from Buffalo and non-Hab fans that, well, first of all, Dovish dove, which he got ran over. Let's just, if he sold it a bit, who cares? Goalie got ran over. But one fan was saying, well, what about the kicking in the goal? Kicking in the goal. You are allowed to redirect a puck with your skate. If you kick it in, right, it's not a goal, but that's not what Phil did. Great all-around play. I love the play by Anderson. The one hand, he's so strong. He just powers through people. Like Samuelson's a big boy, but he couldn't handle Anderson's he's just thick through the chest, thick through the shoulders, and a power horse, and made a great play to Texier back to Goulet. Really nice play by Goulet too, and ended up with the nice goal, and then the pass that Suzuki made. Well, really nice play by Hudson, keeping it in, getting it down low to Suzuki, and that he made a couple of really great passes tonight, but the one to Balduc, superb, and Zach snapped her in. Very nice goal by the Habs, and nice to see Balduc get one on the power play. And they called it the second unit, but assists were to Hudson and Suzuki, who both made really good plays. So goal scored by a second unit power play guy, but plays made by first unit guys that stayed on the ice. So and then Newhook, of course, just shoot, right? Sometimes like I got to give Newhook credit on that. Like 7 goals, and a lot of them just came from him. Okay, I'm just shooting. I'm going to shoot the puck. And I wish more guys had that mentality, because you never know. You never know what's going to happen. What happened was that he ended the series with an OT game winner. Others that have won game 7. Game 7s in OT for Montreal. They named all 3, and I missed the second one. But I know Yvon Lambert. I was asked, my most memorable game 7, and it was the Lafleur tying it in the against Boston in, I guess it was 79, and then with just over a minute left, and then Lambert sending it to overtime. Tremblay, Lambert, I still picture the goal. Everyone shows the Lafleur goal, but you still had to win it in overtime, and Yvon Lambert did that. Claude Lemieux, and Blain and I talked about that in the pregame. And it's funny he mentioned, because when I think Habs game 7 overtime, I think the Lambert one first, but second one that definitely comes to mind was the Claude Lemieux backhander against Hartford in a hell of a series, and so that was a great one. But there was one other, and I can't think of it right now. Maybe somebody can jog my memory. The other Hab, other than Alex Newhook, that won a game 7 in overtime. Kenny's going to bed. Okay, my friend. Have a great night, Ken. I think that Dovish will need to share the net with Fowler. It is too much for Dovish to try to play all games. Well, usually, Denise, you ride one goalie unless he starts to struggle. It's not often that that you change goalies if he's playing well and he keeps winning for you. So I don't know. Hey, if he has a couple of stinkers, we'll see Fowler. But if he has a couple of stinkers, it probably means that they're not going to win the next series. I don't think we see we see Fowler unless he struggles. It won't be just to give him rest. I just don't see it. He's the guy, and typically, if your starter is winning and playing well, you stick with him uh, as a rule. Congrats on series win. Fun series. Give Carolina a scare, and maybe more in the next round. Okay, man. Cats and Rats podcast. What team do you cover? It's Florida Panthers. Oh, okay. We got a Florida fan um, giving us some nice thoughts. Thank you. Paul. Paul is in Amsterdam. It must be what, 6 a.m. in Amsterdam? Just saw the score. Boom. Flying back Monday. Right on. Our buddy Paul, Mr. Paul, is flying back on Monday. So he's going to be around for round 3. I imagine he won't be selling all his seats. He'll probably show up for a game or two in round 3. Jumping ahead of myself here, but if the Habs play the Habs in a final, those Nordique jerseys would look quite awesome. High danger chances will be key to series. Keep Canes out of high scoring chances. Florida gave Carolina 0 high danger scoring chances in Game 3 Eastern Conference Final in 2023. Yeah, that's we know the Hurricanes well. Yeah, different kind of team. Florida got a different team than Carolina or than Montreal. Russ Cartnell. Okay. Double OT in 92. Okay. Thank you. Thank you for that. Yeah, Florida would know Carolina quite well and had success against them. But they are a different team for sure. Little more truculence with that Florida team than Montreal. But we'll see. Maybe they can. Oh, it was Hartford again, eh? I don't know why I don't remember that one as well, but Russ Cartnell game for Old Hartford, eh? Lost 2 Game 7s in OT to Montreal back in the day. Yeah, they had Castles, who was a former Hab, of course, playing for them. Marc Bergevin was on that team, on that Hartford team that lost to the Habs. Um, another, another team that you didn't really expect to be that good. I don't think. I mean, that Hartford team had uh, John Cullen, Randy Cunnyworth, Bobby Hollick, Mark Hunter, Andrew Castles, Ivan Korovo, Mikael Anderson, Murray Craven. I mean, okay players, but You know, Pat Verbeek was a good player, obviously. Jeff Sanderson, Patrick Poulin. Hey, you know, a decent team, but they had Frank Pietrangelo and Nats. They gave the Canadians all they could handle. Took them to OT in Game 7, and Rusty Courtnall. Yeah, his first of the playoffs. Assist to Shane Corson and Gilbert Dion. Yeah. Dion, of course, would have a nice run the following year with the Habs. Him and DiPietro. Montreal versus Carolina will be a styles clash. Looking forward to it. I think Habs been tested by Tampa this year. Yeah, let's hope it's a good series, eh? Definitely. Suzuki is such a classy guy. Chose to give Zucker a slap rather than a dirty face wash following his crash into the crease. Yeah. Yeah. He is a classy guy. There's no doubt about that. We've got 900 that have been tuning in on X. We got about 100 or so here. 1,000 total. You're watching on X. Why don't you hop over here and join the live chat? We're celebrating both of my co-hosts there work their regular jobs in the morning. This is my regular job, so I'm hey, I can stay on for a bit longer, but we're gonna need folks coming on to the live chat here, checking out the YouTube channel, and you know, keeping it rock and rolling here for a bit. I still got, I don't know, half a beer here, so you got something to say? You got a prediction on the next series? You got a prediction on the Carolina Vegas or the Vegas Colorado series? Leave it in the live chat here, and I'll get to it. Yeah, Carolina's Nick Ehlers was a nice addition, and hopefully they can keep Stankoven in check. He's like an even more prolific 5'8" guy than 5'9" guy than Benson. Is there any reason as to why guys always go backwards in their own zone or bring the puck back into their own zone? Sergio Momesso commented on a podcast that it drives him crazy. Yeah. I mean, sometimes it's okay, but if you don't get the puck out of your zone, it's not okay. I don't mind you doing it as long as you make the right play. I mean, sometimes it's done, it depends on the situation. Sometimes it's done, obviously, to buy more time. But if you're just doing it just for the sake of doing it, it's a risky play. That's for sure. I said it during the Tampa Bay series. Dovich, if he keeps up this level of play, will win the Conn Smythe, even if they lost in the finals. Yeah. Well, there have been goalies that have done it before. I think Roger Crozier did back one of the first cup finals. He won. he won the cup, or he won the Conn Smythe for loser. I know Reggie Leach, player, did against the Habs, of course, in '76 when he scored 19 goals. Um, uh, Jaguar, did he win the Conn Smythe in the year that they, or I know he won the Conn Smythe. Bernie Perrant with the um, Reggie Leach won it for sure. I think Jaguar might have won it in a losing effort as well. But Crozier, Perrant won the Conn Smythe 2 straight years, but it was when Philly won the cup. So Hextall won it. Philly lost to Edmonton. He won the cup. He won the cup 1 year for one of the years that Edmonton won the cup in their 4 wins in 5 years stretch with Gretzky. Um, Usually it's the winning team. Of course, McDavid was another one that won it recently, obviously, with his fantastic playoff when they lost to Florida. Um, Trying to think if there's any other examples. It's like I say, it's usually the winning team that ends up with the Jaguar did win, but it was the year. What year did Jaguar win? I seem to recall. Yeah, they didn't win the cup that year, did they? And he ended up getting the trophy. 2003. New Jersey. Yeah, Jaguar won the Conn Smythe in the year that New Jersey won the cup. Oh, there've been some good ones. Larry, of course, won. Um, 65, 66. Crozier won the Conn Smythe, but Detroit didn't win the cup that year. So I think I got them all. Jaguar, Hextall, Crozier. Hey, maybe Dobish. Maybe Dobish is in that mix as well. Did Glenn Hall win the Conn Smythe in an on year? Yeah. I know the Conn Smythe's only been around since yeah, okay, 67, 68 with he was probably with St. Louis, right? Yeah. Okay. Yeah. The Habs swept the Blues. So I guess when you win so many cups, sometimes, oh, got to give it to the other guy. So Reggie Leach, but I mean Leach had 19 goals that year. Um, you know, he was deserving. He'd broken a record. And the Habs. You wouldn't think that Conn Smythe winner would be on a team that got swept, but Glenn Hall was a hell of a goalie too. I'd have given it to Jean Beliveau, but hey. Time for us to finally get payback for something that took place 20 years ago. Justin Williams' high stick on Koivu. That series was stolen from us. Yeah. And they ended up winning the cup, did they not? Was that Michel Therrien mustard suit throughout Lindsay to take the draw? Was that the same series? Let me what year was that? Yeah, I remember that high stick, man. That was criminal. Let's just see if I can get the goods on that one. The Habs managed to have a couple of teams that Boston, remember, overtime, and you talking about 2001 too. And they go on to win the cup. Tampa Bay. That one hurt too. 20 years ago, it was Claude Julien. They lost 4-2 to Carolina. But are you talking about the Therrien year or the Julien year? You must be talking about Julien because Justin Williams didn't play in 2002. But they ended up losing in 6 anyway, right? Lost 8-2 in the final. 5-1 and 8-2. So you must be talking about the Claude Julien year. Let's just have a quick look here. Final and lost 2-1 in OT. Yeah. Habs won the first 2 games, then lost 2-1, 3-2, 2-1, 2-1. Tough. And in OT in game 6 too. Yeah. Those were tough losses, so it's time for some revenge. Cam Ward stood on his head. Absolutely. What do you think will be the numbers for Dovey with a cap of 113 million on his next deal? I haven't even thought about that. When's his contract up? He'll end up getting a good. I don't think it can be. Maybe they look at extending him this summer, right? If he's only got a year left. What's he got left here? Ooh, 965. Yeah, he's got one more year with a cap hit at 965. Uh, you know what? I'm talking extension with him this off season for sure. Say, hey, Dobie, will you take I don't know, 6 mil over 3 years or 4 years, 5 years? I mean, if you wait another year and he has a great year next year, then what's he you know what's he looking for, 10? But as you know a good second half of in your rookie year, unofficial rookie year, um, I don't know that he can command 8 million plus, even with the cap that high. So maybe you can get him on a, but mind you, uh, you know, like you're saying here, 7 at 7. Yeah, you'd have to. Um, I wouldn't go any higher than that, I don't think. He may not want to go 7 years though at that, because if he ends up being, you know, uh, well, especially if he takes him to a freaking cup, then he can justifiably ask for 8 million on a 7 year deal, because I mean that could look really, that could look like quite a bargain in a couple of years if he keeps playing like he is. So good question. We'll see. We'll see what the future brings, but I would be highly considering um, trying to extend him this summer while he still doesn't have a lengthy proven track record. You can, you know, you show the faith in him and say, look, we'll give you, we believe in you. Here's 7 years, right? Um, Jay suggests he will take less. It's the culture among the players. We'll see. Everyone else is taking less, so maybe Dobie does that too, right? Does Jesperi get a sniff of the third round against the Habs? Yeah. Um, maybe, but probably not. He's sat out so far. Dostal is on 6 million for 5. Yeah, yeah. I think it'd be more, of probably like a 5 year kind of deal. Goalies, um, got to be careful. I don't know that I'd sign them 7 years, because they can be up and down. I'd be looking 5. Uh, that's close. Somewhere in that range. 5 years at 6, 7, something like that. Full confidence in Kent when it comes to contracts. Our whole core minus Demi signed for under $9.5 million. Yeah, it's pretty encouraging. Not too many $17 million contracts on the books there, folks. When Hudson and Suzuki combined are signed for less than Kaprizov, that's pretty good stuff. Well, we don't seem to be. Some people are showing up here. Quick, you got any quick questions? Ask them here because I'm going to wrap this up pretty quickly. What are your predictions? What are your predictions for the next round here? I think Carolina's, I picked the Habs the last two series. I don't know that I can do it this one. I just saw too many things that concern me. Not that they can't be fixed, but right now I'll have a hard time predicting the Habs to win the next series. I sure hope they do, but I think it might be the Canes' year to finally make it to the Cup final. Habs might still be a couple of players and a couple of at least a year experience away. Carolina's been, this group has been through this the last few years, right? They haven't been able to make it all the way. They've got the experience of losing second, third round a few times, and it might be their time. But I hope I'm wrong. I hope that Anderson comes back down to earth. That the Habs top line can get rolling. I mean, these are all, as Rick was saying, these are all possibilities. Freddie Anderson could he's never shown that he can win more than 2 playoff series in a playoff. He's it's usually 1 or none, but so far he's been hot. Now you look at Alex Lyon, he was hot before he met the Habs, and the Habs brought him back down to earth. So let's hope they can do the same thing with Freddie Anderson, and that if the Canes end up using 2 or 3 goalies in this series, then it bodes well for the Habs. If Anderson keeps playing as well as he has, and Doby comes back down to earth a bit, and the Habs use 2 goalies in this series, the Canes will be winning. So, as is often the case, an important component of who wins a playoff series will be who wins the goaltending battle. McDavid will bring $17 million next year. Yeah, I would think so. How could he be paid less than Kaprizov? Don't break the bank for goalies. Any fantasy player will tell you how unpredictable they are from year to year. Yeah, you can't. I don't think you can get too nuts. I wouldn't sign him 7 years because we just see it too often that they can be great 1 year and within a couple of years they're mediocre backups. So plus they've got Fowler too on board here, and still a possibility that in a couple of years that he's the number 1 goalie. So do you want to Do you want a guy signed 7 years, 7 mil, who in a couple of years might be the backup? I mean, 6 months ago, everybody was saying Fowler's going to be he's the future starter. Now you can't say that, but who knows in 8 months' time, right? Things can change, especially in nets. So, but I would if he's willing to sign 5 years at 6 million or something like that, I'd do that. You know, um, 6.5, maybe 7. But would I do 7 years at 7 or 8? No, I'd hold off. I'd hold off a year if that was what he was asking. I'd say, okay, let's revisit it in the off season. He'll be an RFA anyway, so it's not like you have to sign him to an extension this off season. But I would certainly sit down and talk, because as I say, the less proven track record that he has, even if this has turned into a spectacular season for him, the less that they can say, okay, we want 8 years, 8 million or something. But if you wait a year and he's spectacular next year, then he could rightfully be asking for 8 to 10, or 8 million plus on a deal. So I'd be trying to sign. I'd be definitely negotiating this off season, looking at an extension for him. Good advantage to have two number one goalies. Yeah, well, that's another thing, right? Canadians are. The future looks very bright in nets with the two young guys, and some good ones coming up. By the way, Volokin started the VHL final, and they won the first game. Kimmich won the first game of the VHL final today 4-3. He faced something like 35 shots. They were outshot by 10 or so, and they won 4-3. So he's continuing to have an excellent playoff run in the VHL, which is the Russia's answer to, the equivalent to the AHL, basically, in Russia. Hopefully he can win with the playoff he's had. It's hard to envision him not. He likely wins a spot in the KHL next year, and we'll see if he can. Certainly, when he played in the KHL this year, the numbers weren't nearly as good. So we'll see. We'll see if he can keep this up at the KHL next year at the KHL level. Let's hope. Let's hope that's the case. And just want to check this out here and see if we got up to. Okay, we've got two. We've had almost 3,000 views, which is fantastic. People like when you win, eh? Especially game sevens. I think Carolina, it's hard not to pick Carolina, but like that's with my head, not my heart. What do you folks think? Do you think it's the Habs can beat Carolina? We've got 96 likes. I'm going to as per tradition, I would like that to be over 100 before I sign off. So if you don't mind, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button if you're not already subscribed, and it would be truly appreciated. Paul coming back. You know, I might have to come down. I might have to come down to Montreal here for the third round. It's going to be crazy. Maybe, meet up with Rick and Paul. And maybe I can meet up with some of you fine folks too. Are still expecting Fowler to be better. He's definitely smaller than Dobish. Yeah, I don't know. Probably not, but I don't. I try not. I'm not going to be emphatic one way or another on starting goalie. Jarosky had 6 points in games at the U20. I think he was the player of the tournament. Have you seen matches or highlights at the U20? The U20 what, Francois? What do you do differently with top six versus Carolina? Maybe nothing. Just want your take. The top six. Francois, I have been a little, I've been a little preoccupied. Well, with the draft, obviously, but with the Canadians, there aren't a lot of Habs prospects playing right now. So I, admittedly, I'm not. I've not been concentrating on the few Habs prospects that are playing at this juncture. But let me just queue up Mr. Jarosky here. See if I can get a couple of stats. Okay, I'm not sure what you're talking about with the U20. There are no games up since mid-April for Jarosky there on Instat. It started 2025. What do you do differently with top six versus Carolina? Yeah. Well, I mean, the second line's producing, so they're probably going to keep those guys together, even if it's not necessarily great chemistry between the three. But I mean, Newhook has 7 goals. Evans was on a 6-game, 5-game point streak. Demi started to produce, so they may not do anything with the top six. Certainly to start out, but if struggles continue with the top line not being able to produce at even strength, maybe then they'll consider making a couple changes, like maybe promote Demidov to the top line and move Slav back, but we'll see. At the start of 25-26, the Habs were considered long shots to win the Stanley Cup with the odds of 100 to 1. Yeah, I think Paul made a bet, and if the Habs end up winning, he's going to have a fair bit of coinage. He definitely. Paul's saying that 31 games without losing 2 in a row. Yep, 16 weeks. Without losing 2 games in a row. And Doby's 6-0 now in games after a loss. Not too shabby, eh? Fowler had a 908 as a rookie on a team that wasn't great defensively much of the year. I'm still very high on him. Yeah, we're all very high on him, Deuce, but, are you higher on him than Dobie? Dobie's 24 years old. Look what he's doing. So I'm certainly not going to say, well, no, Fowler's the guy for sure. Kind of hard to say that right now, right? Because Dobie's the guy. So, all right, we're up to 102 likes. Thank you very much. We got over to the 100 mark. Absolutely fantastic. No sign of Donnie McCaskill tonight. He's, I guess he's miffed. He was kind of cranky last night, and I was cranky back. Oh, well, these things happen. Irishmen don't always agree. Yeah, thanks for saying please smash the likes. Yeah, for sure. Crazy one breakdown by Sabres, and there you go, outplayed in both seventh game and still survive. Yeah, well, that's why you get it to seventh game. Anything can happen. Game 7. Oilers asked for permission to talk to Craig Berube. I see. You know what? That's who I'd hire. That's who I'd hire if I was the Oilers. I mean, for him, you go from your star player being Austin Matthews to being Draisaitl and McDavid. Yeah, I would be going after Craig Berube. He's a very good coach. Yeah, I don't know, Francois. I don't pay too much attention to the Futures Cup. No games up as of yet. Maybe something will be up. Keep captaining the lineup. He's a sniper and close. Frig, he almost scored on his first shift there. Like I was saying, what happens if Cappy scores there? Does Marty give him 5 minutes ice time or 6? Just saying Dobie's the guy right now, but it's an advantage to have 2 solid young goalies. Yeah. You need 2 goalies during the regular season. Yeah. I'm not saying that you trade Fowler. Absolutely not. He could still be the number 1 goalie in the future. That's what I'm saying. Like, we don't know. You don't know with goalies. You never know with goalies. They're the most unpredictable sorts, and it's you have to be careful. You absolutely do. Um, we still got a good gang out here. I'll go for a little bit longer, folks, but it is 1:15 here in Ottawa, South Canada. Another nice problem for Hughes to have Dobish and Fowler plus the 5 or 6 other goalies that have been drafted the last few years. Yeah. Nope. The Canadians are in good shape. They've got some nice tradable assets here coming up. That's for sure. But it's funny, you look at it too. Like, there aren't a lot of holes to fill, really. Anderson's contract's up. I want to try to re-sign the guy. You can get him at a lower price. I want Anderson for another 3 years. Mentor some of the young power horses in the organization. and no rush. No rush to bring him up. You know, is Thorpe or Jackeye or Papanicus going to be better than Josh Anderson over the next 2 to 3 years? Probably not. Glad the refs basically kept the whistles in their pockets and Habs kept away from unnecessary penalties. Was afraid the Zebras would decide it. Yeah, that's true. They weren't calling a whole whack of penalties. Mind you, Buffalo's power play, they did not really scare me too much in that in the I don't know about you, but just never felt that threatened by their power play in this series. Berube should get Coach of the Year for not slapping out Matthews and half the team. Who's still in a rebuild, Kevin? You're not talking about the Habs. Rebuild's over. Absolutely. Positively. The rebuild started before Hughes, and I'll never be convinced otherwise. Bergevin started the rebuild a couple of years before. Started accumulating multiple top 90 picks and actually starting to build through the draft, which I thought he should have done probably 4 or 5 years prior to that. Just gonna have a look here. All right. The stats for the well, they had enough power play goals. Yet I did not feel that threatened by their power play. It's funny, eh? Alex Lyon. Yeah. Has save percentage of 847. That's not real good. Doby's save percentage was not fantastic either. 884. I thought it was higher than that. That's going into today's game. Eight rookies on the 86 team. Oh, yeah. I don't know if they were in a rebuild, but they had lots of rookies. Oh, yeah, there's, having a stock prospect cupboard, it doesn't necessarily mean you're in a rebuild. I mean, but Sabres goalie was bigger than Tampa Bay. Yeah. And at the end of the day, he should have had that, eh? Really. He should have had that shot. All right, folks. We hit 100. We hit 3,000 views, which is spectacular. Anyone watching on the East Coast, Drum Dude, you must be, are you still up? Are you still with us, man? It's got to be. People are running on adrenaline here, right? Especially the Maritimers. All right, well, I think we'll call it a night at this point. I'm caught up. We'll have lots to talk about. I'll get things set up for the Carolina series. Liam is going to do a Montreal forum. He tells me either today or tomorrow. Okay, Jeff. Thank you. Caught him by surprise. Yeah. Thank you for the compliment. 221, eh? Sativa. You've been the sativa keeps you up, eh? No indica tonight. You'd have been asleep an hour ago. All right. I'll on that note, I am going to pack it in here. Thanks as always for everybody for coming out. 3,000 of you tuned in tonight. We'll probably hit 4K plus on this stream, and that's encouraging. Hey, when the Habs win, Habs fans are interactive, and that's great. Thanks, as always, to Blain and Rick for showing up. Blain, of course, has his own podcast, Habs Unfiltered. Check out his stuff. He writes for the Hockey Writers, and he's had some really good stuff. Rick retweeted something the other day. Excellent read. And Rick, of course, he's chief scout for Habs Cast, and we'll be doing rankings here. Mind you, we've been a little distracted by this Habs run, but I've been watching Vigo Bjork and Stenberg. They both were very impressive again today. Oh man, if the Canadians could somehow move up to get Vigo Bjork, there'd be no there'd be no questions about filling that number 2 center spot someday. He'd be the man. I know Nick Bobrov loved Noah Ostlund. If he loved Noah Ostlund, he would absolutely adore Vigo Bjork, and I'm sure he does. What a smart, skilled, competitive centerman he is. All right, that's it for tonight. I'm going to hit the hay here pretty shortly, although I probably won't be able to fall asleep for about another half hour anyway. Running on adrenaline here after that fantastic overtime win. Game 7 overtimes are so tough, right? Because you're just, oh boy, what if Buffalo does it? I'm going to feel so bad. Then again, well, what if Montreal scores it? And they did. And the Habs are now 11-3 in Game 7s in the last 40 years, with the only losses in the 3 losses coming against the same team, the Boston Bruins. So if you're a team other than the Boston Bruins playing the Montreal Canadiens in the Stanley Cup playoffs, and it gets to a Game 7, forget it. Habs are winning. It is written. All right, everyone. Have a great night. It was a great day to talk hockey, a great morning to talk hockey, and we will. I'll get something out tomorrow, probably with Liam. We'll do a Montreal forum. I want to get Liam's takes on. He'll be pretty wound up, and it'll be fun to get him doing a Montreal forum, and I think we'll do it later today. I was going to say tomorrow, but it is tomorrow already. Good night, everyone. Go Habs, go. See you in the next round. Bye for now.